Hello guys, welcome to the Amateur Camera Boy, and today we are gonna look on DaVinci Resolve 16 and 16 Studio in depth. Okay, this might be a very long video, so make sure you subscribe. I'm splitting this into parts so that you can watch all the parts together. I have added a playlist also, so do check it out, and it will be coming every day at 7 p.m. IST. So every part today, okay, this is the first episode, and today we are just gonna look on how is Resolve and what, just introduction to DaVinci Resolve 16. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, before that, please download DaVinci Resolve Studio or just the free version. There is a small difference in both of them. In Studio, there are more features than 16. Okay, DaVinci Resolve 16. So it's up to you which one you want to choose and all. Okay, so let's begin. So first, the new project over here, clicking on new project, I'll set the name to basic. So here, so you can see on the screen the cut page. After creating the new project, you'll come to first cut page. Within the cut page layout, the cut page we'll be seeing in upcoming episodes also. So this is just a basic. Okay, so here you can see media pool, sync bin, transitions, titles, effects. Those are all called as media tabs, and these are all the tool sets. Like tool sets will open, see sync, clips, transitions, titles, effects. Everything is here. So let's see one by one what are these. Okay, the media pool contains all your footages and all your audio files or bins. You can also import by drag and drop onto the media pool section over here. You can drag and drop and add the footages or files here. So if you want to import in other way also, here is called as media section. Here you can import. Here you can see all the drives and all. So you can import from here also. Okay, let's get back to the cut page, and now let's go to sync bin. So I'm just explaining these things. I'll be performing everything in upcoming sessions, so I'm just explaining over here. Okay, if you are working on a multi-cam project or function type where you have multi-cams, or you have a sequential shots, so what this sync will do, it will sync everything according to date and time. So sync videos, audio clips, everything according to time code. It will just match the time code, everything. This is called as sync bin. So next is transitions. In transition tab, you can see all the video and audio transitions that you can use in your edit. These include common transitions such as crossfade and wipes, everything like that. The neighbor of transitions tab is titles. So in this titles, there are a lot of titles. There are texts text like lower thirds or standard text. There is also a list of fusion texts over here. You can customize this text in fusion page. These are dynamic titles, the fusion titles. Then the fifth tab is the effects tab. So this provides all the filters and effects you can use to bring more life to your edit. For example, customize blurs, glows, and lens effects. There are many powerful tools, effects you can choose from. You can find them using the search tool here fastly. So here is the search bar. It's located everywhere in titles also. You can have like text plus or anything like that. You can just type it and you will get it, drag and drop. It is fast actually. This tab is actually fast. Okay, and here you can add cross dissolve. Okay, like that. You can do it fast in media pool also. If you want to search anything, you can organize here also, like search like anything. I don't have anything in the media pool now, so just okay. So the next one is the view tab. I think so. You can see here view mood buttons. Okay, there are three. One is source clip, and another is source tape, and the third one is timeline. So these are some three different mode of viewing, or viewer modes. We can call it viewer modes. Okay. Okay, the first one is source clip. So what is source clip? Source clip viewer displays a single clip from the media pool. Like if you have some footages that you want to check out really fast, if you go to this and select like any clip, it will just view here, like the single clip what is there. Okay, and you can select the in point and out point here only. Like you can I'm just explaining. I'll go practically in upcoming episodes. This is just basic. Okay, and this gives you a greater control over your footages. Okay, select your scrolls. Okay, you can do it by selecting your source clip, double tap. Okay, double tap double tap me on Instagram. Okay, gotcha. Okay, if you double tap over the footages in the media pool, you can get the preview here, and you can mark in and out points also. Okay, then next is the source tape. So source tape, okay, one nimsha. Sorry, in olden time, movie was played on an reel. Do you know that reel? Like the long movie reel which used to be very big. Now there is a now IMAX only has that, I think so. IMAX 70 like the reels and all. So source step is nothing but the reel, complete reel. Okay, the whole thing. So in here, source step means the whole project media pool is come into one single like viewing time. Okay, viewing timeline. So for example, you have 7 footages, and you don't know where that movement came in which video, but you want to search it, and you are going through the single video, but it might get difficult. So in that times, you can, what can you do? You can go to the source tape view. It will, you'll find you can scrub through the timeline. Like it's not the okay, you can scrub through all the footages, 7 footages, completely in a single, like single timeline. Okay, we cannot say timeline. Okay, single view. Okay, completely. Okay, it is like just stitching all the videos. Okay, it's a viewing option. Gotcha. Okay, next, timeline. So timeline is actually here, but it's not visible. The timeline viewer lets you view the views. Okay, the timeline viewer lets you edit timeline so that you can play back your project and refine your edits. Okay, the timeline view. My timeline is not made yet, so okay, now let's add some clips to the timeline and get going. Okay, wait, I have to search for the footages. There will be a small break of 1 second, and I'll be back. Okay, I have imported some footages over here, so let's start. So I'll show you the difference between views. Source clip, I can just view it like here, or else you can just go like this, here only. or else you can view over here like this, like that. Okay, and next this is the the tape source tape. Okay, here you can see not only single clip but it's playing up all the clips. I think so you can here. So this plays all the clips in the media timeline in a single time code. Okay, so next is timeline. Oh wait, okay, let's drag it over here. So let me add this over here. There are different ways to add clips to timeline, such as smart insert, append, place on top, and more. Okay, I'll just speak about that.
So appending clips, when selecting takes and assembling an edit, you likely want to add these shots to your timeline one after the other. Append tool is perfect for this task and will get you editing very fast. So what does that tab basically mean?
Okay, first double click on uh, the clip and you can see the options over here. Okay, place on top, close up, ripple overlay, append. So here let's add it, append. So what it did means it just added a footage after the second footage. Okay, so you can add this on like append. You can do it 4 or 5 times also. Okay,
You can speed up the process further by assigning a keyboard shortcut to the append icon. For example, if you assign P key, not only P key, you can assign any key you want, but please check that there is nothing another key which conflicts in between them. You can set your in and out points using I and O, and then press P to append the clip. Editing clips on the timeline. With clips added to the timeline, you have to complete a control to move them around. Trim edits. To trim an edit, hover the mouse over the start or the end of a clip, then drag it left or right. For example, drag the end of the clip or to the left or right to decrease or increase the duration. You might notice that all clips after the you might notice that all clips after that edit will shift on the timeline to accommodate the new adjustment. This is one way the cut page helps to save your time. You can even pick up the clip pick the clip up and drop it on a new video track in the large timeline without having any zoom in or out. This speeds up the edit process because it minimizes the time navigating a long timeline. After you have finished editing clips using the cut page, you might want to add a title.
let's see how to add a title. First he will just see.
Okay, adding titles. Placing a title on your timeline is easy and you have many options. So, to see the different types of titles you can use, click on the Titles Media tab. Uh, at the top left corner of the user interface, in the selection window, you will see all the different types of title generators you can use, from the lower thirds scrolls to standard text title. You can even add any of the fusion titles, which are animated titles that you can customize yourself. A good example is to add a standard title.
So first we can drag and drop the text over here, and then you can go to the tools section. Now you can see the tools option over here, like position, crop, levels. Okay, here it's not this one. Audio track is not this, so that's the mixer type of thing. Here is the speed, and here is the stabilizer and lens correction, safe areas, blending modes, and here you can go to the title over here and click on open inspector. So it will open the inspector and you can add like new vision or something like that. Okay,
Now you can, as usual, you can take this.
you can adjust
font.
the sizes.
And by the way, you can put keyframes on every other settings in the menu.
To be specific, inspector.
You have a lot of options to customize the title exactly how you want it. We recommend you playing with all the different settings to see how they can be changed and change the appearance and the shape of your title. So color correcting your clips. This is very important. Now with the clips on the timelines, timeline and added, you can now start color correcting using the color page. The color page is extremely powerful and will define the overall look of your film. But for the example of a good place to start is to neutralize all the clips so that they can be consistent. The color of the page lets you adjust the luminance, white balance, contrast, saturation for all of your clips. This is usually the first step and is referred to as primary color correction, or adjusting the primaries after the primaries. After the primary color correction is done, you can make the secondary color correction adjustments which is where the overall look of your film is set. That is a lot of fun, but it is normally done after primaries because it helps the process make more efficient and you will get a better result. So first click on the color tab to open the color page. You will see color wheels, curves, palettes, and general color correction tools, as well as the preview nodes windows. Don't feel overwhelmed by the vast array of features in front of you. They are all there to help you. You get the most amazing looking pictures. This getting started section will show you the basics.
So for more related amazing looking looks and all will come in upcoming episodes. Okay.
Generally, the first step of primary color correction is to optimize the levels for the shadows, mid-tones, and the highlights in your clips. In other words, just adjust the lift, gamma, and the gain settings. Okay. This will help you get pictures looking the brightest and with a clean. Okay. This will help you to get your pictures looking their brightest and the best with a clear, balanced starting point from where you can begin grading look of your film. To optimize the levels, it is helpful to use the scopes. They are on the bottom right. Okay. Using scopes, most colorists make creative color choices by focusing on the emotion and the look they want in their program to have, and simplify work using the monitor to achieve that look. You can look at everyday objects and how different types of light interact with them to generate ideas on what you can do with your images and what you can do with your images with a little practice. Another way to color grade is to use built-in scopes to help you balance shots. You can open a single video by clicking the scope button, which is the second form of the second from the right on the palette toolbar. You can choose the display, a waveform, parade, vector scope, and a histogram. Using these scopes, you can monitor your tonal balance, check the levels of your video to avoid crushing your blacks and clipping the highlights. Plus, monitor at any color cast in in your clips. The color wheels palette contains the lift, gamma, and the grain controls, which will generally constitute first adjustment. If you previously had experience with color correction, these should resemble the controls you have seen in other applications for doing color and contrast adjustments.
So here are the lift, the gamma and gain and offset. So here you can just control it using like this. So it will change the style of, it will change the brightness like that. In detail we will go soon. Okay, this is the total control for the clip you have. Okay, the balance, color balance, white balance, and contrast, pivot, saturation, hue, luma mix,
Basically,
everything. To make a uniform adjustment to all colors for each tonal region, drag the dial underneath the color section like this is the dial. You can do it like this.
for more accurate control of each color using a mouse, you can change the color wheels to primary bars, which let you adjust the color and the luminance channel of the lift, gamma, and the grain controls separately. Simply select the primary bars from the drop down menu near the top right of the color wheels. Adjusting the lift. With your clip selected on the color timeline, click on the lift dial underneath the first color wheel, slide it back and forth, and watch how it affects your image. You will see brightness of the dark regions of your picture increase and decrease. Ashana?
Next time.
Set it to where you want the dark areas to look their best. If you decrease the lift too much, you will lose details in the blacks, and you can use the parade scope to help avoid this. The optimal position for the blacks on the waveform is just above the bottom line of the parade scope. Adjusting the gain. Click on the gain dial and slide it back and forth. Click on the green dial and slide it back and forth. This adjusts the highlights, which are the brightest areas of a clip. The highlights are shown on the top of the section of the waveform on the parade scope. For a brightly lit shot, these are best positioned just below the top line of the waveform scope. If the highlights rise above the top line of the waveform scope, they will clip and you will lose details in the brightest regions of your image. Adjusting the gamma. Click on the gamma dial underneath the color wheel and slide it back and forth back and forth. As you increase the gamma, you will see the brightness of the image increase. Notice the middle section of the waveform will also move as you adjust the gamma. This represents the mid-tones of a clip. The optimal position for the mid-tones generally falls between 50 to 70% on the waveform scope. However, this can be subjective based on the look you're creating and the lighting condition in the clip. You can also use the curve palette to make primary color corrections. Simply click to create control points on the diagonal line inside the curve graph and drag them up or down to adjust the master RGB contrast at different areas of image tonality. The optimum points to adjust are the bottom third, mid, and the top third of the curve line. There are many ways of doing primary color correction in DaVinci Resolve.
The curve palette is another tool which you can adjust the brightness, the mid-tones, brightness of the highlight, the shadow, the mid-tone. Okay, here in the line I have divided into
Soon
three.
there will be a video to correct.
Wait, madam. One ನಿಮಿಷ. So here I have divided the line into three parts. This is the highlight section, this is the shadow section, and this middle is the midtone section. There are various ways you can do. There is something called as S curve, many things like that. You can
You'll
do the
get
primary
soon.
collection.
Yep. Okay, secondary color correction. If you want to adjust a specific part of your image, then you need to use the secondary color corrections. The adjustments you have been doing up until now using the lift, gamma, and the grain adjustments affect the whole image at the same time, and so they are called primary color corrections. However, if you need to adjust specific parts of an image, say example, you wanted to improve the color in the grass scene, or you wanted to deepen the blue in the sky, then you need to use the secondary color corrections. Secondary color corrections contain are where you select a part of the image and then adjust only the part. With nodes, you can stack multiple secondary corrections so that you can keep working parts of your image until everything is just right. You can even use windows and tracking to allow these selections to follow movement in your images. Qualifying a color. Often you will find a specific color in a clip that can be enhanced. For example, the grass by the side of a road, or the blue in the sky. You might need to adjust a color on a specific object to focus the audience attention on it. You can easily do this by using the HSL qualifier tool.
How to qualify a color? Now let's add a new serial node. Add node, corrector. One small tip over here: if you click on shift and drag it over the line, it will automatically stick to the line. Okay,
Pretty cool, huh?
okay. So now let's open the qualifier. In the qualifier, make sure the selection picker is selected, and you can pick the areas, okay, that you want to affect. Here you can see like in the serial node which and all are selected. Okay, you need to make some adjustment to soften you, like saturation, luminance, hue, like that. You need to find out, soften the edges. So make sure you do it properly. Okay, so click on the highlight button and you can see how and all it's affecting and where and all it's affecting the. Let's make it little softer so that it would be nice. Okay, we have made it softer, and adjust the width control in the hue window to broaden or narrow your section. This is this one, hue section. Okay, you can narrow it, you can widen it. Okay,
now you can make color corrections to your selected color using the color wheels or custom curves. Sometimes selection can spill into areas of the shot you don't want to affect. You can easily mask out the unwanted areas using a power window. Simply create a new window and shape it to select only the area of the color you want. If your selected color moves in the shot, you can use the tracking features to track your power window. Adding a power window. Power windows are extremely effective secondary color correction tool that can be used to isolate specific regions of your clips. These regions don't have to be static, but can be tracked to move. Statistical. These regions don't have to be static, but can be tracked to move with a camera pan, tilt, or rotation, plus the movement of the region itself.
So use the power windows to make mask out areas you want to be affected by HSL qualifier second adjustment. Don't want to be. Okay, now let's go to the power window. Let's add
Where's the power window?
here.
Oh,
Now we can add over here and drag
that's
it
the
over.
original color, you know.
Yeah, okay, you can just soften it out or make it like that. So what I want to affect that region. Okay, bigger part is here, so we'll do it over here. These are the feathering options over here available.
For example, you can track a window on a person in order to make. For example, you can track a window on a person in order to make the color and contrast changes. Just do that person without affecting his or her surroundings. By making corrections like this, you can influence the audience attention on areas you want to look them at.
To add a power window to your clip, so add a new serial node. I actually added over here only. Open the window palette and select the window shape by clicking on the shape icon. Your selected window shape will appear on the node. Okay, and then resize your shape by clicking and dragging the blue points and around the shape. The red points adjust this softness, and you can position. I actually told that time. Okay, you can position the shape by clicking the center point and moving it to a area. So you want to another isolate. So this is the softness and this is the isolate. Okay, we'll keep it over here. Okay, now you can make color corrections to your image, the area you want. Okay, just it should look natural. Power windows lets you make secondary corrections to the specific part of your image.
Tracking a window. The camera object or area in your shot may be moving. So make sure your window stays on selected objects or area. You can use DaVinci Resolve's powerful tracking feature. The tracker analyzes the pan, tilt, zoom, and the rotation of the camera or the objects or objects in a clip, so that you can match the windows that movement. If this isn't done, your correction can move off the selected target and will call off attention to itself, which you probably don't want. To track a window to a moving object, create a new serial node and add a power window. Go to the start of your clip and position the size the window to highlight just the object or the area you want. Open the tracker palette, select the pan, tilt, zoom, rotate, and the perspective 3D settings appropriate for the moment in your clip by checking or unchecking the relevant analyze checkbox. Click on the forward arrow to the left of the checkboxes. DaVinci Resolve will now apply a cluster of tracking points on your clip and then step it through the frames to analyze the movement with the tracking. When the tracking is done, your power window will follow the path and the movement in your clip. Pretty cool, huh? Most of the time, automatic tracking is successful, but scenes can be complex sometimes. An object can pass in front of your selected area, interrupting or affecting your track. This can be solved manually using the keyframe editor,
which we will be gonna discussing in the upcoming videos. Okay, so let's take a small break and come back. So Edureka is an online training provider with most objective learning system in the world. There are various courses like Python, data science, DevOps, AWS, and many things like that. So please do check out the courses there using the link below. Begins in color page. So while making secondary color corrections, you can also add resolve effects and or open effects plugins to create fast, interesting looks and effects using the color page, or imaginary transitions and effects on your clips on the edit page. Resolve effects are installed with DaVinci Resolve. OFX plugins can be used and downloaded from third-party suppliers. Okay, so how to go here? Beside the node section, there is called as open effects. So clicking on that, all the effects will be here. Okay, so let's add a new node. After adding a new node, let's just shift, align it, come here. Okay, then we can add like blur. Going to the settings over here, you can change the settings of blur, angle, like that you can change. Here you can do a fourth back. Remember the scene from going to the caves mining area? You know the movie. Okay, so now let's see how to mix the audio, mixing audio in edit page. Okay, let's go to the edit page. So if you want to do advanced audio editing and all, you can head over to Fairlight, which we'll be doing soon or in upcoming videos, upcoming sessions or upcoming episodes. So for now, let's see in edit page. You can add audio tracks. For example, you can extract from the audio track. Okay, here you can add this over here, adding to a new track. Okay, and basically you can do it from here also. Right click on this area and click on add track 5.1, 7.1, stereo. So if you wish to change the type of track after creating it, right click on the name of the track and select change track type to, and select the type of audio track you want, such as stereo, mono, or 5.1. okay, like this. Okay, and then adjusting the audio levels on the timeline itself. So how can you do it? You can just scroll up here and you can drag a particular track, and you can see a small white line over here. You can higher the volume or lower the volume. Okay, you can do like that here only. So for advanced projects for the Fairlight, for advanced projects dealing with audio, let's head towards the Fairlight. Okay, now. So the Fairlight page is where you adjust the project audio and all. So in a single monitor mode, this page gives you an optimized look at audio tracks of your projects with an expanded mixer. So mixer is this one. Okay, and custom monitoring controls that make it easy to evaluate and adjust levels in order to create a smooth and harmonious mix. Okay, don't feel overwhelmed by vast array of features in front of you. They are there to help you deliver the best audio quality for your project. Okay, now let's see the interface or the audio timeline. Okay, so here you can so at the left of each track is the header area that displays the track number, track name, track color, audio channels, fader value, and audio meters. The track header also consists different controls for locking and unlocking tracks, plus solo and muting controls. There are controls. These controls can help to keep your tracks organized and let you preview individual tracks at one time. Here you can see, I'll just show you. Here, record mode function. This is the track header. You can see the its stereo channel like that, and here how many clips are there, audio levels. These are the controls: RSM, mute, solo, record, okay, and locking and unlocking. So is it locking or unlocking? Yeah. And then we have something called as tracks. So you know what is tracks. um, so these divided lines, lanes, divided lanes are called as tracks. This audio 1 and audio 2 are the tracks. Audio 1 is a track, audio 2 is a track, okay, which shows each individual channel of a clip audio for mixing. The edit page hides these individual audio tracks, displaying only single clip in timeline to make it easier to edit multi-channel sources without needing to manage a huge number of tracks. Okay, let's come to what is a bus. So a bus is essentially a destination channel to which you can route multiple audio tracks from the timeline so that they are mixed together into a single signal that can be controlled via signal channel strip. Okay, then there are two types of buses, which mainly there are two types. So one is main bus and one is sub bus. So main buses are typically the primary output of a program, and each new project you create starts out with a single main bus to which all tracks are routed by default. The main bus combines all the tracks in timeline into a signal so that you can adjust the overall level of your audio mix once you have adjusted the level of each individual track. Okay, now the sub bus. So in sub buses allow you to combine multiple tracks of audio that belong to the same category, such as dialogue, music, or effects, so that everything in that category can be mixed as a single audio channel. For example, if you have 5 dialogue tracks, you can route the output of all 5 dialogue tracks to a submix bus, and the level of all dialogue can be mixed with a single set of controls. This submix can be rendered separately or sent to the main bus for render. So next we have the mixer. Okay, so each audio track in a timeline corresponds to an individual channel strip in the mixer. Like audio 1 is A1, audio 2 is A2, M1 is the bus 1, main one. Okay, main bus 1. Okay, and additional channel strip will appear on the right hand side with a set of controls for each main and submix buses you create or extra tracks you create. A set of graphical controls allow you to assign tracks to output channels, adjust EQ and dynamics, set levels and record automation, pan stereo and surround audio, and mute and solo tracks. Okay, everything over here: pan, dynamics, EQ, effects, insert, group, like that. Okay, let's look on equalizer. So using equalizer to enhance your audio. Okay, after adjusting the audio levels of your audio clips in your project, you may find that the audio needs further finding or fisting. In some cases, you may find that the dialogue and music and sound effects are competing for the same frequency on the audio spectrum, making your audio too busy and way not clear. Okay, this is where using an EQ can help, as it allows you to specify the parts of the audio spectrum that each track occupies. You can also use the equalizer to help remove unwanted elements from your audio by isolating and reducing the level on particular frequencies that contain low rumbles, hums, wind noises, and hiss, or simply to improve the overall quality of your sound so that it is more pleasing to listen to. Talking about music, I get to remember Epidemic Music. So I use Epidemic Music, and it's the biggest and the best library for YouTube creators as well as filmmakers. Okay, so there will be a 30 days trial link in the description. You can check out and get a 1 month free trial, 30 days. Okay, and sign up. Each audio clip in the timeline has 4 band equalizer. If you go over here and see here, turn on, see 4 band equalizers are there over here. So here are the graphical and numerical controls for boosting and tuning different ranges of frequencies, and different filter types allow you to define the shape of the EQ curve. So this is the EQ curve, you can up and down here. Okay, so other band lets you make band filter adjustments using high shelf, low shelf, high pass and IO pass filters. A pass filter affects all the frequencies above or all in particular by frequency, by removing those frequency completely from the signal. For example, a high frequency pass will allow the hair frequencies through pass through. So the notch filters allow you to specify a target a very narrow range of frequencies. For example, removing a main hum at 50 or 60 Hz. Low shelf filters boost or cut the frequency at low end and every frequency below it. High shelf filters boost or cut the target frequencies at the end and every frequency above it. I've already shown here. Starting steps. Okay, click on the audio clip over here, then click on enable clip equalizer in inspector. So how to add a EQ to the track now? So how to add EQ? Coming over to Fairlight, here you can see the EQ over here. Double tap and here you get the EQ controls. So once you have added EQ to your clip or track, you can adjust the EQ of each band. Note that controls may vary depending on which band filter type is selected. To adjust band filter, to adjust the EQ for a band filter, select the band filter type. Okay, here, and then adjust its frequency. Let it be like this. You can adjust the frequencies. Okay, adjust the gain value up or down. Okay, adjust it and use the Q factor value to adjust the width of affected frequencies. Okay, use the reset button to reset all the controls in the EQ window to their defaults. Fairlight has many controls you can use to improve the quality of each track. You can add more tracks and arrange buses to organize them, plus add effects like delay or reverb and generate perfect your audio mix, adding VFX and compositing. Okay, so now that you have completed the edit, you can open the Fusion page to add 2D or 3D visual effects and motion graphics right within your DaVinci Resolve. Unlike layer based compositing software, Fusion uses nodes, giving you the freedom to build complex effects while routing image data in any direction. Notes window clearly shows every tool used along the way. Okay. If you have expressed the node workflow in the color page, this will feel familiar to you. So let's head out to the Fusion page. The Fusion page features two viewer windows across the top with transport controls to view your media, an inspector window to your right, inspector view to your right to access tool settings, and notes window at the bottom where you can build your composition, while the viewers and transport controls are always visible. Clicking on the icon, the interface toolbar at the very top of the display will let you show or hide the notes and inspector windows, or reveal or hide additional windows including effects library and editors for spine and keyframes. So here the media pool functions the same way as edit page. Simply drag additional media from the bins directly to your composition. Then effects library, it's the effects library where you can find the fusion tools and templates sorted into categories including particle tracking, filters and generators. You can either click the tool or drag it to the node area to add it to your composition. Okay, the media pool and effects library take up the same screen, so you can swap between the two to keep your viewers as large as possible. So now let's talk about viewers. The viewers are always visible and let you see the different views of your composition. For example, overall 3D perspective via the merge 3D node, a camera output, or final render output. These viewers also let you see how your changes are affecting a specific element. So the nodes window is the heart of the Fusion page, where you build your node tree by connecting tools together from one node's output to another node input. This area will change size depending on which editors are open. For example, the spine or keyframes editor toolbar at the top of the node area features the most commonly used tools for fast access, like here text tool, color correction tool, color curves, hue curves, merge, eclipse, polygon, EP emitter, that is particle emitter, particle merge, particle render, plane, image plane 3D, like that. Okay, then spine. When the spline, when the spline editor is open, it will appear to right of the nodes window. Spline ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಇದೆ. Okay. So spline, okay, it will appear to the right of the nodes window. This editor lets you make precise adjustments to each node, such as smoothing the animation between two keyframes using Bezier curves. The keyframes for each tool can be added, removed or modified using keyframes editor. This also appears to the right of the nodes viewer. Okay, then the metadata window will show you metadata available for the active clip, including the codec, frame rate and time code. Okay, inspector, the inspector in the top right corner displays all the settings and modifiers available for one or more selected nodes. Additional tab nodes will appear to provide quick access to other settings for nodes sorted by the category. Here, for example, I have added an just a minute, I'll just take this out. So you can just drag and drop the like any like effects from the effects panel over here, effects tab. Okay, you can just drag and drop here, selecting that. You can see there. On the Fusion page, your clip is immediately available in the media input node labeled media in. Every composition will begin with a media in and media out node. The media in node represents the top most clip of your timeline at the playhead and ignores the clip underneath. Any adjustments you have applied to the clip on edit page, such as transform tools and cropping changes, are also included. Resolve effects or OFX plugins applied to clips in the edit page are not applied in the Fusion page. Okay, this is because Fusion effects occur prior to color correction and Resolve effects processing. If you want OFX applied before Fusion effects, right click on the clip in the edit page and select new Fusion clip before clicking on the Fusion page. So let's understand what and all this means. Okay, understanding nodes. So it can be helpful to think of each node as a visual icon, okay, representing a single tool or effect. Nodes, okay, nodes are connected to other nodes to build overall composition, much like ingredients in a cake. Okay, it is important to understand the inputs and outputs of each node, as this will help you navigate the flow of composition while building detailed visual effects. Some of tools have multiple inputs and outputs you can connect to other nodes. The merge node, for example, lets you attach foreground input, background input, and mask input for metes or keys. So the green color one is foreground input, and the yellow color is the background input, and blue color is the effect mask input or mete or keys. Okay, then the white color or the somewhat gray color square is output. Okay, so multiple outputs on nodes means single clip node can connect to many different nodes in your composition. So you don't have to duplicate your clips as you would in layer based software. Arrows on the line between connected nodes are great visual indicator to show you which direction the image data is flowing. So adding nodes to the node editor. Adding effects is simple as placing nodes in between the media in and media out nodes. There are few ways you can do this. You can hold down the shift button and drop a node between two nodes, or click on the node you want to attach an effect to and select the tool you want to add. The new node will automatically connect to the tool selected. You can also add a node anywhere on the node window and manually connect the nodes by dragging the output of one to onto the input on the other. Okay, now you can hold shift and drag here. There will be like a small separation it will add over here, or else you can, okay, let me just remove this, or else you can add over like. And one more small tip here, you can press shift space to access the tools fastly. Okay, you can search over here like P R E and D. Okay, and add. Okay, here you can add the P renderer, camera 3D. Okay, then back to over here. Oh my god. Okay, here in the merge you can apply mode like normal, screen, dissolve, like that, and you can have the merge tool. Okay, like size also you can adjust, angle, flip, everything like that. Okay, toolbar above the node panel. So this is the node panel. Above there are some tools containing the most commonly used tools as icons that you can either click on to add the node or drag the tool to the node panel. Okay, if you want to see all the complete tools available, click on the effects library here. Okay, effects library in the top and expand the tools option. Here you will find all the tools sorted by category as well as set of preset templates you can use, for example lens flares, shaders and backgrounds. Okay, I had told you something before, which is shift plus space bar, which you can search the relevant name and you can click on add. It will directly add to the node window. Okay, so adjusting the nodes using the inspector panel. Okay, adjust your node settings. Okay, so using the inspector panel, simply click on the node you want. Like for example, we'll take p emitter. Okay, and we can modify here how much we want, like that. Okay,
Transformer.
size, everything. Where is size?
Play around a little bit.
We can play around little bit. You don't have to be viewing the node you're editing, as you can modify one node while viewing another in your composition. Okay, for example, you can modify the size and center of the position of the text plus node while merge node is in the viewer, letting you view the text relative to the background. Okay, there are different parameters and settings you can adjust for every node depending on its task, from sizing and center positions to changing the number of particles in a emitter node, selecting keyframes and changing the settings over time. I will animate the effect. Okay, now let's see working with keyframes. Okay, so let me bring up the spine something. Okay, here so in the inspector window, set a keyframe by right clicking on a setting, and the toolbar above the node panel consists of most commonly used tools as icons that you can either click on to add the node or drag and drop to the node panel directly. If you want to see all the complete tools available, click on the effects panel in the top. Okay, in the top left corner, and expand the tools option. Here you will find all the tools sorted by category as well as pre-built templates you can use, for example lens flares, shaders, वगैरह extra. Okay, then one small thing to be noted, once you are familiar with tools names, you can now hold shift plus spacebar. Okay, so you can hold shift plus spacebar and you can add anything like p directional force, something like that. Okay, p emitter. Okay, like that. Okay, then adjusting nodes using the inspector panel. Okay, so adjust your node settings before okay, adjust your node setting using the inspector panel. Okay, simply click on the node you want to modify, and here the panel will update and show the display over here, like emitter number variance, variance, color, position variance, temporal distribution, velocity, rotation, spin, like that it will show. As you can modify one node while viewing another in the another in your composition. For example, you can modify the size and the center position of the text plus node while the merge node is in the viewer, letting you view the text relative to the background. Okay, like here just shown in the example, this is just not text, but this is the particle emitter. Okay, so there are various parameters over here. Okay, there are various number of parameters where you can change through and you can animate those. So let's see how to add a keyframe and just working with keyframes. Okay, and in the inspector window here you can see a lot of options like number like this and all here also. Okay, first we'll choose the frame which we want the particles to be. Just a minute, it will be rendering in the background. So okay, so here first we will in the first frame we will add a key here, keynote. Okay, and then after somewhere over here I need the number to be increased a lot. Okay, not much here. Okay, This is the animate button. Okay, this is the animate button. When you click on it, it will save the data like 16.7 and drag it over and just change the value. It will again come to red. Okay, when it come to red, the node has been the change has been done from the keyframe. Okay, when two or more keyframes is created by changing the settings parameters on different frame, a transition is interpolated between them. Arrows on each side of keyframes icon let you move playhead to those exact position or the timeline. So the splines panel give you further control over keyframe animation. You can select keyframes such as first and last and smoothen the animation between them into a bezier curve by typing Shift plus S, right clicking on the keyframe, selecting smooth. Shift plus yes, okay. Here it will give you small controls. Right clicking it, it will give as smooth. So we can smoothen it, okay, however we want, so that the keyframe is set properly. You can do it various ways. You can drag the top end of here to make adjustments using the motion tracker and adding text. Now let's see how to use motion tracker and add text. Okay, so first let me import the clip and then I'll add. Okay, so let's see how to use the tracker tool to track an element into the clip plus add text and attach it to the element using tracking data. Okay, the tracker tool tracks pixel over time on the x-axis, y-axis and generates data you can use to attach other elements. This is great for you when you want to match the position of text to a moving object such as car driving along a road or a bird while it flies across the frame. Okay, let's see how to do it. In the effects library, select the tracking tool, or else there is a shortcut also, shift space track. Okay, okay, then we can click here, add, shift and drag it over. Okay, the clip will appear in the viewer together with the tracker and its default position. Hover over the mouse over the pointer. Okay, to reveal the tracker handle, click on the tracker handle at the top left corner here. Okay, you can change over here wherever you want. Make sure it is the dark side, like high like contrasty side. Okay, and you can add it anywhere. Okay, just it needs to get the pixels right. Okay, then high contrast areas works well. Okay, then in inspector window click on track forward. Okay, this is track forward. Let me add another one. Maybe let's just a minute, it's not aligned yet. Let's click on track. It actually jumps off here, as you can see. The tracker was good over here, good over here, good over here, but it got jumped at the last. Okay, let's just, okay, the notification came and click on OK. So you can track reverse or forward from the current frame. Is like a situation where your area of interest disappears during the render range, such as a car or bird moving out of frame. This lets you again do it like relevantly. Okay, with relevant footage. Okay, now you can take that tracking data and apply to motion path to the text tool. Okay, so let's add the text over here like this. So merged results on your left hand viewer in the tracker inspector. in the tracker inspector panel, click on the operation tab. You can see here the operation tab over here. There you can see the name tab by hovering the mouse pointer on it. Click the drop down menu of it, so it has already come now, and click on the text node to reveal the properties in your inspector. You can add more words, or you can like that. Okay, you can change color, font, everything like that. This will apply the tracking position data from your tracker to your text. If you want to change the text offset, click on the trackers tab. Okay, trackers tab to your text. If you want to change, okay, trackers tab, back in the inspector and use the xy offset over here. Okay, again in offset, okay, xy offset. My tracking is not good because the keyframes were out of the frame, so till here there was no problem. Okay, so you can also delete the keyframes, added extra keyframes. Okay, so clicking on the keyframes tab, here you can see tracker 1, this one and all, and here you can just select things and delete the tracking data. Okay, if your effects are particularly system intensive, right click on the transport controls area. You will view the viewer options including proxy playback, helping you to get the most out of your system while you build your composition. Okay, we will see this in upcoming episodes, how to do that and all. Okay, so now we all have completed the first composition, animating text to match move in your footage, in our footage. Okay, so if you want to track an area of the image that contains a flat surface, you might want to enhance or replace. Okay, you can use the planar tracker. Okay, you can use the planar tracker. Tracking 2D planes can be helpful for changing labels and signing in moving image, or even adding an image onto a monitor or TV in your shot. This is something like big one. Okay, so that's why we will be seeing in it is worth noting if the effect you are building is a 2D effect or a 3D effect, as this will determine which merge tool you used. Okay, you may discover yourself frequently combining 2D and 3D effects in the one composite. In this scenario, it is helpful to remember that any visual effect using the 3D space needs to be rendered as 2D image before it can be merged into a 2D composite. Okay, now let's master our edit. Okay, so now we have edited, graded and added VFX and mixed our audio. We would want to share it with others. Okay, you can also use the quick export button or the menu selection to output the contents of the timeline as well as content file in one of the variety of different formats in order to share with people, or use the additional features of the deliver page. So first let's see how to quickly export this. Okay, so coming back to the edit page over here now, we'll look at quick export, how you can do. Just click on file and click on quick export. Here it will give you three options, which is H264, YouTube, Vimeo, directly from here. Okay, directly from here. H264 will save it on your local computer. Okay, and YouTube, it will directly send to YouTube from here. Clicking on export, it will also upload to YouTube. So you can, these are some of the presets. When you click on export over here, for example, you need to select where the place you want to, you need to select where you are exporting, and you can rename your file over here. And see here the progression bar is there. It will be like that. Okay, it might take more time for you or less time for you, because it depends upon the system capability. Okay, so if you are doing from a laptop, it may take little bit more time. Maybe it depends upon the processor and the graphics card you're using, mainly the graphics card. So let's see how to export in deliver page. Okay, let's go to the deliver page, and here there are lot many options, like various formats, various codecs, various resolution, various bit types, etc. Like for example, let's take formats like QuickTime, AVI, MXF, DPX, using codecs such as 8-bit, 10-bit, uncompressed RGB, YUV, ProRes, DNX, HD, H264, and many more. Okay, so to export single clip of your edit, so this is the render settings window on the top left of the page. So you can choose the number of output presets, for example YouTube, Vimeo, H264, like that, so and so. Okay, then you can set manually in the custom section, you can set manually your custom presets and all, like over here. So for example, let's click on YouTube and then let it remain as it is, because it is, we have edited in this. Okay, so the same timeline what it's there, resolution and all, it will come over here usually, but not all times. Okay, then the frame rate will be locked to your project frame setting. Okay, frame rate, you, okay, you can change the resolution. Format only, there are two format, one is MP4 and one is QuickTime. Okay, you can just add your title, you can add your title, you can choose the render from where to where you want to render. So here are two options called as entire timeline or in and out range. So in and out range means if you click I, it will mark it as in, and if you click O, it will mark it as O, like in and O. Okay, if you want to do like that, or else you can export the entire timeline. So in the bottom of the render settings, here it will come as add to render queue, click it on that. Okay, then you will see here called as over here in the render queue, then click on start render. When the render is complete, you can open the folder location, double click on your new rendered clip and watch your finished edit, or it will get directly uploaded to YouTube also. Okay, so now that you have a basic knowledge of how to edit, color, mix audio and add visual effects, please continue to watch my videos, upcoming videos, and make sure you subscribe you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification whenever the next video is up. Okay, maybe it may be tomorrow, maybe, or else it may take some time. Subscribe to the channel, and if you liked it, just hit the thumbs button. If you have any doubts or clarifications, comment down in the section below, in the comment section. Okay, let's meet you in tomorrow's episode.